All right.
Sadly, we've done a good job of killing it, but not such a great job of keeping it.
We're here to support this.
And there's a great video on the Care for Creation.
It's
very good. Pope Francis speaks of a very solid scientific consensus on the disturbing warming of the climatic system, accompanied by a constant rise in the sea level and extreme weather events. That's his quote. He emphatically states, quote, "Humanity is called to recognize the need for changes of lifestyle, of production and consumption, in order to combat this warming, or at least the human causes which produce or aggravate it. A number of scientific studies indicate that most global warming in recent decades is due to the great concentration of greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen oxides, and others, released mainly as a result of human activities. The problem is aggravated by a model of development based on the intensive use of fossil fuels, which you've heard much about, which is at the heart of the worldwide energy system. Another determining factor has been an increase in changed uses of the soil, principally deforestation for agricultural purposes." That's Pope Francis, right there, kind of trying to make it clear about what we're all agreeing upon here. The Paris talks are important because governments around the world must act, but the people of the world must provide leadership, must act, must stand in solidarity with the poorest and the most vulnerable among us. In the letter to Catholic bishops around the world, Cardinal Peter Turkson, who's in the Justice and Peace Office at the Vatican, recalled the World Meeting of Popular Movements earlier this year. Pope Francis observed that justice often requires prudent political action from elected officials. At the same time, the Holy Father recognized that simply to rely on well-known or high-profile leaders for action is not enough. This is his quote: "The future of humanity does not lie solely in the hands of great leaders, the great powers, and the elites. Rather, it is fundamentally in the hands of peoples and in their ability to organize, which you are doing and have been doing today and in the past and in the future. Yay! It is in their hands, which can guide with humility and conviction this process of change, your hands." Recent popes have pressed the case, and I'm speaking as a Catholic here. We have many faith communities share their deep commitments on these issues and a wide level of agreement. Now, St. Pope John Paul II warned against the problem of consumerism and the way human beings set themselves in the place of God and thus end up provoking a rebellion on the part of nature. He reminded us of the connections between authentic human ecology and the treatment of the rest of creation. Pope Benedict XVI was known as the Green Pope. He made Vatican City the first carbon-neutral state, a largely symbolic action which nonetheless spoke to a commitment to practical and systemic solutions. He addressed the need for a global authority to oversee the worldwide redistribution of energy resources and guarantee the protection of the environment. And now, of course, Pope Francis has promulgated and expanded upon this social teaching in his encyclical Laudato Si on the care of our common home, and I do recommend that you all read it. It's excellent. And this is what he said. He said, "We have to realize that a true ecological approach always becomes a social approach. It must integrate questions of justice in debates on the environment so as to hear, and this is crucial, both the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. And it is the poor of the earth that are suffering and will suffer most due to climate change. Our relief and sustainable development agencies like Catholic Relief Services and faith organizations throughout many different faiths and religions work around the world and see daily the impact of climate change upon the most poor and the most vulnerable. Pope Francis has said, if we destroy creation, it will destroy us. When we reject the gift of the Creator, we suffer along with the rest of creation. So for the sake of the human person, especially the refugees of war and climate change, climate disaster that are a part of the largest migration of people since World War II, for whole ecosystems cleared, destroyed, and lost for corporate profits, for animals facing increased rates of extinction. For all these and so much more, in the name of God, defend Mother Earth.
Thank you, Greg Walgenbach. Our next speaker is a member of OCCA and president of the Orange County Interfaith Coalition for the Environment. Please welcome Trav Williams.
Hey, Trav. Well, I was asked to give about a 5-minute presentation, but I decided to make it a little bit shorter. I'll be as loud as I can. I'm sorry, I don't have a loud voice. Can you hear me better? Yeah. So I was saying I'll keep my presentation a little briefer than I planned. It's been said, blessed are the brief, for they shall be invited back. And I was looking around and estimating at least 100 people are here today, but then it occurred to me, you know what? There are about 7 billion people here today, because this is a microcosm of the world. And it's a beautiful sight to look out and see so many different people from different backgrounds, different colors, different sizes, shapes, ages. Even our friends from Anonymous are here. Thank you for your support. And most importantly, it's beautiful to see the children, the next generation here, sitting so attentively and listening. It's just a beautiful thing. So, again, I'm representing the Orange County Interfaith Coalition for the Environment, an organization that's been around for about 15 years, and one of our founders, Margaret Henke, is here today. I'm going to read for you the Interfaith Call to Action on Global Climate Change from OCI, the Orange County Interfaith Coalition for the Environment. And this is for everybody, primarily for people of faith. Do we have any people of faith here today? Yeah.
Wonderful, but this message really is for everybody. As people of faith, we are called to treat all of creation with reverence and respect. We are inspired to be good stewards and take actions to protect and preserve the great gifts we have been given.
Amen.
Since everything in creation is connected, when one of us suffers, we all suffer.
Amen.
Our faith community accepts the overwhelming scientific consensus that global climate change is real, primarily caused by human activity, and poses imminent and dangerous threats to every part of creation. Individual actions, while commendable, are not enough to mitigate current climate disruptions and prevent catastrophic consequences. We must engage in effective and comprehensive action to provide the hope of a livable, sustainable future for our children and our grandchildren. Creation knows no borders, and solutions will require international governmental action. We call on all people of faith to raise their voices. Let me hear you raise your voices.
Amen.
And engage with
Hallelujah.
their legislative leaders. We advocate for putting a high price on carbon to reduce the use of fossil fuels and catapult the development of alternative fuels. As people of faith, in partnership with our Creator, we can move mountains. Amen. We commit to taking action to ensure environmental equality and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Trav Williams. For those keeping score, I think we have 4 more speakers. Good speakers, right?
Yeah.
Want to hear more?
Yeah.
Okay. Our next speaker is Dr. Bill Honigman. He's representing Progressive Democrats of America.
Go, Dr.
And truth and disclosure. He's a true progressive, my personal friend, and a really great guy. Welcome, Dr. Bill. No accidents here. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Bill. Okay, we're going to play I Say, You Say. Okay, hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, now say, healthcare, not warfare.
Healthcare, not warfare.
Yeah, now say, windmills, not weapons.
Windmills, not weapons.
Now say, education, not incarceration.
Education, not incarceration.
Yes, this is a good group. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I'm Bill Honeyman, Dr. Bill, hence the name, hence the outfit. I'm an ER doctor. I worked all night last night, so I need to go home to bed. Yay! But anyhow, thank you all for being here today. Thank you, OCCA, for sponsoring and organizing this event. It truly does, to change everything, truly does take everyone. So I thank you all for being here. A lot of you were with us when we shut down the San Onofre nuclear power plant. Yeah. Right? We testified at the roving Nuclear Regulatory Commission meeting down in San Juan Capistrano. Folks like myself brought to this distinguished panel of scientists, physicists, and nuclear particle type guys the indisputable fact that if you already have a nuclear leak going on and we end up with something like Fukushima, what happens to Orange County? Gone. Uninhabitable. We're all out of here. All the way up to LA County, all the way down to San Diego. Gone. Out of here. They could not argue against that. They shut it down. Thanks to everybody here who did their part. Thank you. That's called thinking globally and acting locally. That's what we're doing today. We're thinking globally and acting locally. There are undisputable effects of climate change going on right now. I heard yesterday, 14 people died in flooding in Texas, right here at home in Texas, from flooding, from catastrophic flooding. They've never experienced flooding like that before. People were taken off guard and were drowned or killed because of flooding. There's a little thing going on in a country called Syria. Anyone know about that? What is it called? Daesh or ISIS? Why does that exist? Because they had severe drought. Yes, they did, just like we do. They had severe drought that kicked family farmers off of their farms into the city and created a tremendous unemployment and unrest situation in central Syria, and now they have open revolt and catastrophic change going on in their country with refugees spread all over the world and idiot Congress members here who won't accept them. That's what we're talking about, thinking globally and acting locally. I'm proud to say that Progressive Democrats of America, People Demanding Action, is our 501c4 organization, has stood for a carbon tax. A carbon tax we push every month right here in Mimi Walter's office in Irvine. We push her to vote for a carbon tax. Will she do it? Not in my lifetime. Maybe the kids, you guys keep working on her. She's around. But anyhow, we have stood for that for a decade or more since PDA was founded in 2004. Any friends of Tim Carpenter in this group? Yes, our old friend Tim. Well, found Progressive Democrats of America. So we're moving forward with single-payer health care. We're moving forward to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. Yes. And we're moving forward on climate change. I'm looking personally as a physician, I'm looking at other kinds of health effects on people as well, like, for example, diseases, communicable diseases that can't be stopped as a result of climate change, and these god-awful trade deals that are going on right now, like this TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, which will remove all of these very helpful, useful, generic drugs that are used all around the world to fight things like AIDS, TB, and malaria.
So this is what we're up against. We're up against the corporate climate that's destroying our real climate, and you all are here standing up to that, and I so much appreciate it. So thank you all for your involvement. I say, you say, healthcare, not warfare.
Healthcare, not warfare.
Windmills, not weapons.
Windmills, not weapons.
Education, not incarceration.
Education, not incarceration.
Thank you all.
This is happening all over the world, as you see. We got a few people out here. There's thousands probably in LA. Yes. Let's save the world.
Go to Wildstar.
Wildstar.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of Wildstar.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was trying to bring him out. And what's your feelings about all this and what's going on?
I feel like it's a great opportunity for we the people to gather and spread the message about others looking up to what's going on with climate change. As much attention as we're bringing to the situation, I would love it if we kind of, storm into where more people are. But
yeah,
hey,
I guess the spectrum told them not to.
Yeah, we got to abide by the rules.
Yeah.
Then again, there is children out here. Woo!
Yeah,
it's all about everybody being safe, everybody promoting the message, safely and happily. That's more so what it's all about. So.
That's right. What do you think? Anything Governor Brown is doing at this point?
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Especially if he's allowing, oil companies to continue to drill in California.
Right.
Especially with the fracking.
Fracking, yeah.
With the genetically modified food crops. That contributes to, climate issues, as well as, chemtrails, the geoengineering. A lot of people don't discuss that much, but that definitely is a contributing factor, trapping in those greenhouse gases. So, the governor, of course, could stand up to fight those things, but he will not. So if you vote for me, I will.
That's right. Yeah, the mainstream media is not helping at all either on this matter.
No, not at all.
They're part of the corporate.
Exactly. That's why we got to be our own media source. We have to be our own messenger. So that's what it's going to take in order for us to spread the truth, especially in this empire of lies. Truth is treason in the empire of lies.
Any other media out there that's actually more truthful to this point?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pardon me? What did you
Yeah,
say?
as far as the media goes, we only have probably Free Speech TV that I guess is still on at the, People's Media, and then the mainstream, the actual
Yeah,
people.
I mean, with regards to mainstream media, the only one I kind of, track or trust, I guess, would be RT News.
Right.
Even though, of course, the information that they share with us is more in depth with what the mainstream media here in America does. The conglomerate. So, in order to get around the propaganda, you got to search for the truth, and a lot of people, they just don't want to do the work to find the truth. But that's really what it's going to take.
And Democracy Now.
Democracy Now! Is a great one. Another great outlet. So is Open Your Mind podcast. We pretty much are just making our own network for we the people.
Right.
And that's really what it takes. Is we have to reestablish what media is in this country. Media is the only source named in the Constitution to be protected. The reason being is because it's the source of we the people. They know the power of the freedom of press, So with that power comes great responsibility. We know already that the people in charge of our media definitely are completely irresponsible. All they care about is money and whatever it is that, will help them get more money. So they're never going to share with us information that could be detrimental to that, for sure.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure indeed. Thank you.
All right, we just talked to Governor Wildstar. And what we see here, we have pretty much big group here today. Not as big as we want it. There should be about 1 million people out here, being that California has 4 million people or more now. But
I'll say, what do we want? You'll say climate action. What do we want?
climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
I'll say climate, you say action. Climate!
Action!
Climate!
Action!
I'll say action, you say now. Action!
Now!
Action!
Now!
I'll say climate, you say action. Climate!
Action!
Climate!
Action!
I'll say action, you say now. Action!
Now!
Action!
Now!
All right, here we go. Start. We'll say join us. I'll say join, you say us. Join!
Us!
Join!
Us!
I'll say join, you say us. Join!
Us!
Join!
Us!
I'll say join, you say us. Join!
Us!
Join!
Us!
What do we want?
It's Lou Noble from
What do we want?
People's Media by the People.
Now!
Signing
We've
off.
got people in Paris, they're doing hard work, but sometimes it's disappointing. We want action now. We want them to come together on agreements that would change our society as a whole, globally. We'd come together, work on this problem together. We're going to say Earth 2 and Paris. I'll say Earth 2. You say Paris. Earth 2. Paris. Earth 2. Paris. I'll say Earth 2. You say Paris. Earth 2. Paris. Earth 2. Paris. Woohoo! Thank you everybody for being here.
All right, thank you.
If you borrowed a sign, you can leave it on the ground.